Hello, students. My name is Professor Waugh, and I've been teaching college chemistry to students for over 31 years. For today, we're going to continue our lecture on the periodic table, moving on from the simple categories to groups or family names. I will also discuss what the numbers at the top of the periodic tables mean. So, if you're ready, let's start class. Quick note before we begin, we have a website. There you can find all the notes we write for our videos. We also have quizzes and assessments, so go check us out. Thanks. Okay guys, let's talk about the groups and periods on the periodic table. Now, the periodic table was organized by Dmitri Mendeleev in 1869. No, I was not born then, okay? He organized the then known 63 elements by grouping them by their similar physical and chemical properties. So he grouped them. Very important word. Groups are sometimes referred to as families. Why? Because they behave alike. Just like my family in Louisiana, we are all crazy as a bat out of hell, for the most part. Now, when you look at the periodic table, all of the groups are columns, and there are 3 different numbering systems that you'll find on different periodic tables. So let's break it down. There are 3 different numbering systems for the groups. You have the American system, started in the early to mid 20th century, which I use. And the reason why is because I can teach you some things, so you'll see that later on. We also have on other periodic tables the European system. Here you have an old IUPAC system, which originated in the 1940s and the 1950s. Now, IUPAC. This is what we're going to hear a lot about later on with naming chemical compounds. This means the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. And this started since I've been alive. It's the 1 through 18, and it started in 1988. Now, I want you to know the 6 special family names. Now remember, a group is a family, those are the columns, and this is the American group numbering system. That's the only thing that I use. And these are only things you need for introductory chemistry. Group 1A is the alkali metals. Now exclude hydrogen, because I know you know that's a nonmetal. So when I say alkali metals, that's group 1A. Now make your voice and intonation go up and down, because that's how you learn better. When you go to group 2A, that's the alkaline earth metals. I actually do that in class to help students hear me better, and you should do it too as you're studying. Alkaline earth metals. And then group 7A, that's the halogens. Say it with me, halogens. All right, group 8A, those are the noble gases. All right, those inert gases are called the noble gases. Then, of course, at the very bottom, we have the lanthanide series and the actinide series. Now, there are other names for other groups, but the bottom line is to know these for introductory chemistry. Now let's talk about the periods, or the rows going across. These elements in the same row, which is the same period, they share the same number of electron shells. And that means energy levels, which we'll talk about later. So when we look at period 1, the first period going across, that is hydrogen and helium only. When you look at period 2, that starts with lithium, beryllium, goes all the way across, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. When you go to period 3, that will be sodium, magnesium, aluminum, all the way across to argon. And of course, period 4, potassium, all the way across to krypton. Now it continues on. You only have 7 periods on the periodic table. So when we look down below and we look at the lanthanide series, that is period number 6. When you look at the actinide series, that is period number 7. Energy levels will be discussed later. Thank you for attending class. To recap, those Roman numbers at the top of the periodic table show which groups or elements share similar chemical and physical properties and are called families or groups. The numbering system for these groups have changed over the years, but the one I use is the American system. So remember to memorize where the alkali metals, group 1A, alkaline earth metals, group 2A, halogens, group 7A, noble gases, group 8A, and at the bottom, the lanthanide and the actinide series are on the periodic table. But it's not just the columns or groups. The periodic table is also organized by their rows, called periods. The number of the periods denote the energy level of the element, which we're going to discuss in depth later. Once again, thanks for watching. We are A Friend in Chem, and our mission is to help students learn introductory chemistry. Our email and website is in the description. So if there's any way we can help you, please contact us. We want you to be successful in chemistry, enjoy chemistry, and have fun with chemistry. Until next time, take care.